cool. You go home right now. Oh, I'm having to look to the left. Okay. You're good. So, sorry. Video.
Video.
You know we were ready. God. And she got. Yeah. I'm drinking all out.
I'm smiling.
Exceptional Women of Color, also known as EWOC, program continues to uplift and empower women. Thanks to the visionary Miss Plachette Robertson, the CEO and founder of the SatCulturalHub.com Media Foundation and chief editor of the Hub magazine and her entire team. Sat Cultural Hub is the #1, okay, let me repeat that, #1, not #2, not #5, #1 Black-owned, women-owned leading source for urban news, business, education, and entertainment in Northern California. So all of you, please give a warm welcome. Put your hands together for the one, the only, the visionary behind EWOC. Give it up for Miss Plachette Robertson.
And I just want to welcome everyone. You all look so beautiful. I'm so glad that you decided to dine with us in lieu of COVID-19. I really want to just start off by saying congratulations to our EWOC 2020 honorees. If you could just stand up where you are so everyone can actually see who you are, because we are doing a video which is going to be premiered on Saturday for everyone to see how you receive the EWOC Excellence Awards. Thank you so much for standing. So I first want to give honor, praise, and glory to my Lord Jesus Christ for the wake up. If you watch my videos in the morning, I haven't been on lately when I do my squats. That's my signature. Thank the Lord for the wake up, and thank you for all of you arriving safely. As we, our SAC Hub team, the EWOC team, we have definitely had to pivot and we've had to adapt. There are many of you that have been to an EWOC conference before this very first time coming today. This is very different for us because of COVID-19 and the coronavirus, but we didn't let it stop us. Praise God. You know, it was my vision to still see it through, to have a person-to-person presentation. There's nothing like a presentation of the EWOC Excellence Award. So as we move forward, I do want to go ahead at this time and introduce our inspirational speaker who is going to give a prayer blessing. His name is Pastor Takoy Porter.
The temptation before us is to shut ourselves down, place ourselves on a personal quarantine, and pray that it all gets better. But this is not what exceptional women do, particularly those women of color. You don't retreat, you don't give up, you don't run away and hide. But what you do, and I've witnessed this firsthand, is that you pray. You adjust, and then you step up to do what is needed for your family, your loved ones, and your community. Why? Because you are exceptional. Let's be honest though, you've always been exceptional. In fact, you've been exceptional in so many ways, in so many capacities for so long that you made exceptional look easy. Being exceptional is your normal. And because of this, it's often expected and taken for granted. Can you imagine where would we be if it wasn't for you strong, exceptional women, as you always answering the call, filling the gap, taking care of our families, looking after our neighborhoods and communities, upholding our churches, and serving on the front lines. I hesitate to think how much more dire our neighborhoods and our communities, schools, churches, families, and even this nation would be if it wasn't for you, exceptional women.
We are so happy to be honoring all of you again this evening. Congratulations to all of the EWC honorees that are here in the house. We're excited to have you here for this exclusive dinner. So right now we're going to recognize all 18 honorees this evening with the Exceptional Women of Color Award, and you will be joining the ranks of over 240 different women that we have recognized over the years. It's been 11 years that Flechette Robertson had this vision of actually honoring women of color, and we are just so proud again to be honoring you. So we're going to now just present you with the EWC Honoree Award.
All right, and now for the moment that you all have been waiting for, our honorees for the 2020 EWOC Exceptional Women of Color Virtual Summit. In the area of education and research, Michelle Crisp.
As an African-American female educator, I'm often put in positions where I have to represent, defend, and uplift our kids. At times when it gets challenging, I remember that my mere presence as an African-American female educator is essential, needed, and impactful. As many students have expressed how just knowing that I'm on campus makes them want to do good in school. I would like to leave you with a quote by Dr. King that embodies my pedagogy and educational philosophy. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is truly the goal of true education. Thank you again for this honor, and please go vote.
Next up, in the area of communications and public affairs, Diana Kroon-White.
I'm thankful for the honor of being recognized as an exceptional woman of color among so many other exceptional women of color who are bold, brave, and courageous. We are all making a difference in improving the health of our communities through our individual skills and talents. I'm proud to be able to make a difference in communications and public affairs. I'm grateful for the time I spent at the Sacramento Bee and of my 21 years at Kaiser Permanente in public affairs, where I was able to use my skills and passion in community building. At Kaiser, I was able to do what I enjoy most, serving Sacramento's diverse communities and working with employee and physician volunteers. At this time, I just want to give a quick shout out to my Kappa sisters. They've been very supportive and very strong and helpful over the past few years. And at Kaiser Permanente, it's the Kaiser Permanente African American Professional Association. A good friend said, the best way to keep power is to share it, something I strongly believe in. We are stronger when we share our knowledge and our resources. Be bold, be brave, be courageous, because you are exceptional. Thank you.
Next up, in the area of management and the professions, Lynette Hall.
Thank you so much. You know, there's something special about receiving an award, but there's something even more special when you receive an award from people that you respect, admire, people that you're a fan of, and more importantly, from a person and from companies that look like you. So I graciously accept this award, and it's more important because this year has been a transition for all of us. And I kind of took a leap of faith and pursued my dream job and got it. And so I get to wake up every day doing something I love to do. more importantly, for my city that I love. And so I take this award in a position in a year that has been challenging for me and more importantly my daughter, and I do it for her. I do it to show her that you can do anything if you really just keep trying, and when you fail you just keep going. And so oftentimes when you see me, you see her, because kids will be what they see, and I try to model that for my daughter.
All right, next up in the area of social welfare and community activism, Michelle Martin Neal.
It's a collage I bought for everybody to see. This is why I'm exceptional, and I'm as excited to be a Sacramento native, a retired state worker of 41 years. Woo! In 2017, I retired from the state of California. I grew up in Glen Elders. My mother's my rock. She's the one that started me working when I was 19. She was persistent and told me to get a state job at 19. I took classes at Consumers College. And this is a blessing. I look back on my family. I have 4 brothers. I have 3 grandchildren. I have a lovely daughter. And this is why I can able to do what I can do. God bless Plachette Robertson, who answers my phone calls all right now. And I emailed her today and she emailed me back. You know, God is good. God bless you.
All right, next up in the area of young women of distinction, Melissa Muganzo Murphy.
Good evening, everyone. Now, y'all know I came with the speech pretty tight. Don't play around. I want to take this moment to thank the EWOC nominating committee for selecting me, because as soon as I got the email, I started working out. I said, I don't know where these pictures are going to be, but I got to be cute. I'm messing around. Okay? Every day when I wake up, I think about the divine vision that I believe the Creator has for me. I see my name in big lights, walking red carpets, and pouring life into the future I believe we can achieve. At 8 years old, I knew I wanted to be an entertainer. The stage is my home and I live for it. I breathe it. And today, as a living legend and CEO of my own entertainment company, my heart smiles so big knowing that I made my 8-year-old dreams come true. The world is dependent on Black women showing up. We have been here from the beginning, showing up for other communities and not getting the credit. And tonight we get the credit for all that we do behind the scenes and on Zoom. Amen? Amen. When my time is all said and done, I pray that the Creator is proud of me and says those magical words, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," because I have chosen to lean into the divine vision set for me and lead a life of purpose, intention, and faith. Congrats to my 2020 nominees. All right, y'all.
All right. Next up in the area of exceptional career mom, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I mispronounce your name, Haruka Catherine Ogbu? You can correct me when you get to the mic, please.
When I moved to Sacramento years ago, I knew no one, had no idea where to find resources, and I'm so grateful to have found Sac Cultural Hub online because it helped connect me to the community, just from finding like hairdressers to restaurants. I knew nothing, so I'm so grateful for this magazine. And I want to thank my family and friends for their love and support, especially the Nehemiah Emerging Leaders Program, my Nell family, and my mentors. Thanks to my mother for being a symbol of strength and resilience. Thanks to my husband for being my rock and supporting all the activities that I love to participate in. My beautiful children, who are a major blessing to me, and although it's been hard being confined in the house, I have enjoyed this time with them, at home with them. Everything that I do is for them, and it brings me so much joy. Thank you again, and congratulations to all the exceptional women of color. Thank you.
All right, next up in the area of social welfare and community activism, Ana Quinones.
Buenas noches. Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches. I'm a Spanish teacher. My name is Ana Quinones. My beautiful mother, mi mamacita is right there. so much. Yeah. Thank you so much to Ms. Robertson. This is really amazing. Really just amazing to be with all these amazing women here. This is my really lovely friend, Ms. Leatherwood. I love her so much. We work in education, and she's very, very, very cool. So I brought this up because I heard an interview with Congresswoman Presley where she said she was a little girl, she's getting her hair done, and sitting on a pile of books because she was too small, and she had her brows were furrowed. And the woman doing her hair asked her, "What's on your mind? What is concerning you?" And she said, "The world." Everything, as a kid, I remember just kind of being worried about things and stuff. And I see, like, my mom, she's done so much. She's like really persevered, and she's gone through some really intense challenges, and she's like, do you see her? Like, she's super smiley. She's just very charismatic, way more charismatic than I am. And I don't want to go too long, but what I'm trying to say is, as an educator, and I love, I just want to make sure I say your Miss Chris, Maestra, Teacher Chris, I love how you said about being a role model for our students and how education is for social justice, to help us, everybody have access and have not just equality, but like success, and have access to all that. And thank you, that's all. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Next up, in the area of entrepreneurship and innovation, Rosario Rodriguez.
I was raised by an amazing woman. In Spanish, it's a little vulgar, but it says chingona. That's what my mother was like. My mother from the very beginning, when we were young, she would say, you know, step it up, and you do it right, and you do it, you know, you really give it your all, and you work hard for what you have in life. And that instilled in through me my whole life, even up until I started getting into my career, and I was able to now get into the point where I hired people. And I'll tell you, I made a point to say that I would raise women of color, that I would ensure that they would get hired into good positions, and that they would get good jobs, and that they're so talented, and they're vocal, and I had an amazing time working in healthcare for 25 years before I decided that I wanted to go work for myself and open up my own restaurant, which I was able to do. And that's what women do, is you go, you get it. So I'll tell you though, but nothing can be done without the good, amazing Lord. I have an amazing relationship with God. I'm a believer that you have not because you ask not. Because you don't ask God, open those doors for you.
All right, next up, in the area of social welfare and community activism, Kolika Siegel.
My name is Kolika Siegel, and I'm the first African American president of the California National Organization for Women. I am an intersectional feminist and womanist committed to improving conditions for women and communities of color through policy change. Some of our work includes the successful passage of a number of pay equity bills, for getting more women and women of color elected to office, and advocating for an end to violence against women. And I'm asking you tonight to do more than vote, because we all know that Black women are the backbone to the party, but also the backbone to the country. I'm asking you to do more than vote tonight, but to lift with all your might for progressive change and help us to continue to push for the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, called VAWA. And thank you guys so much.
In the category of Young Women of Distinction, Miss ALANA Smith.
All right, you guys all look beautiful this evening. All right, so tonight it truly is an honor to be in the presence of brilliant Black women and to be selected as the 2020 Honorary Young Women of Distinction. I would like to thank the man above for abundantly blessing me and putting me on this earth to walk in my purpose. And thank you to my mommy for all your sacrifice, unconditional love, and instilling in me the values of what it takes to be a young, exceptional woman of color. I would also, thank you. I would also like to acknowledge Ms. Plachette Robertson for making this event happen and creating a space where we can celebrate Black women. Tonight it is truly a full circle moment because just 2 years ago I was a recipient of the 2018 Youth Exceptional Woman of Color Student Award, and my mother accepted the award on my behalf. But now I get to stand here and cherish this moment with her. Thank you. I've learned that the way we carry ourselves is a true reflection of the village that raised us. This award is not just a reflection of the person I've become, but the woman I am becoming. Being a young woman of distinction is not just a title, but a responsibility for me to use my voice for the voiceless and to inspire other young Black women to embrace themselves, walk in their purpose, and shoot for the stars. So again, thank you for this honor, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.
All right, next up in the area of communications and public affairs, Whitney Smith.
I took a moment to reflect on what being an exceptional woman of color is. And Lynette, I do have to tip my hat off to you because I credit my mother, sorry, I'm gonna get emotional. I lost my mom really young, but she instilled values that I carry throughout my whole entire adult life. So, Gabriella, I was you. So, I just encourage, shout out to all the moms, grandmas, aunties, cousins out there. If you have a young woman, daughter, young woman of color that's in your life, you know, just show up, let your light shine, be empowered, get up, fight when things are going wrong because she's watching, right? So I just want to give a shout out to all the moms, grandmas, aunties out there that just keep being exceptional women because we are watching. So thank you guys.
In the area of social welfare and community activism, Simone Thomas.
I strive to lead our young sisters to believe in their talents and their strengths so they can pick up the torch when they are ready. Their confidence is slighted and their worth minimized. I hope that you will join me in lifting them up so that they will be prepared to tackle the world that has counted them out. This is for my nieces who dream of becoming doctors, writers, and business owners. I hope to model a way for them to feel that all their dreams and aspirations are possible through hard work and support from their community. Thank you for recognizing my efforts.
In the category of social welfare and community activism, EVELYN Turner.
Wow, it's an honor and a privilege. Who knew a little girl from Lansing, Michigan coming to Sacramento, California would be honored? I moved here 10 years ago. And when I came with 7 children. I have 11 total. Had nowhere to live, but God kept me. And we found a place. Okay, we found a place to live. But at that time, my husband was unemployed, and we kept going to food bank after food bank. And I saw the condition. The people that worked the food bank would take the good food for themselves and give the people that really needed it the leftovers. And I made up my mind, if I ever got a chance to make a difference, that they would get the best. Because we should serve each other as kings and queens. We should always give them the best. And if you want to know what you're really going to be in your future, check your circle. Check with who the people that you're hanging around, who you're talking to, who encouraging you, who's building you up, who's strengthening you. And then remember, behind you, there are young people that are following you. Look at our youth today. We stand here as exceptional women, but whose life have you touched or changed? It is an honor and a privilege denied by many to stand. I'm 56 years old, a mother of 11. I'm honored to be among such great women. But once we take down everything and we put our plaque on the wall, have you made the difference? It's the sacrifice. Willing to do the work, something that you put your heart and passion to. I love people because I know what it feels like to stand on the other side of the line. That's why I do what I do. And I'm honored tonight that someone saw a little girl from Lansing, Michigan and says, hey, let's honor her. And I thank you.
And in the area of social welfare and community activism, Dr. Gina Warren.
I know my husband's happy they gave me 2 minutes because he knows I can go some. Plachette and SAC Cultural Hub, thank you so much for this honor. I'm so humbled to receive this honor. But I just want to let you know how incredible it is to be amongst the women, but to have the opportunity that you provide, because it gives an opportunity for collaborative, strategic alignment of other women, knowing what you're doing, because every single person provides something of benefit that lifts for the greater good. But I stand here because my husband and I have known each other since middle school, and we have a philosophy of life of God, family, and community. We grew up in Del Paso Heights, and so I really stand here to speak for the women of Del Paso Heights with Neighborhood Wellness Foundation, which I co-founded with Marilyn Woods, in which I work with an interdisciplinary, incredible group of women, of Sonia Smith, Sherry Kirk, Trinisha Scott, Beth McClure, Michelle Belton, Michelle Gladney. We come together as a team, an interdisciplinary team, and give lift and life to those that have been forgotten. Because when you see our women on the street or working the street, know that they have a story to tell. Our goal is to disrupt intergenerational trauma and poverty. And you can't get the education unless you lower that barrier of adversity. When you're not eating, when you're not housed, when you're struggling to raise your children, please understand that we have an opportunity to help these women, because I have learned so much from them as much as they've learned from me. And so I want to say on behalf of Del Paso Heights that we love our neighborhood, we love our women, we love the mothers that are unsung, that are struggling every day to make it. And I just want to encourage all of us that remember, when you see somebody, that nothing's wrong with them, but ask what happened to them. And when you understand what happened to them, you'll better understand their story, because they're telling you their story every day. We just don't hear them. And so when we see the growth, the development of those that we put time into, because it's not rocket science, but it's time and it's work, that to know that they are worthy to be saved. And as I said before, when you do it with love, there's nothing that can stop you.
Now, the next 4 honorees were not able to attend tonight, but we would like to acknowledge them. So they are as follows. In the area of health, sport, and wellness, Dr. Michelle Evans. In the area of politics and government relations, Laureen Pryor. The area of social welfare and community activism, Anita Ross. And last but certainly not least, in the area of health, sport, and wellness, Dr. Dorothy Wilborn. Can we give another round of applause for all of our 2020 Exceptional Women of Color honorees?
Well, that was just wonderful. Very, very powerful. Always, 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 when I listen to your speeches, I'm just like, I haven't really done anything. After listening to everyone come up and talk about all of the things that you've either accomplished or the obstacles that you've overcome. And so that is what, you know, SAC Cultural Hub has always been about, is to highlight the positive. There's so much negative that, you know, when we came on board, we just said we want to highlight the positive of African Americans and communities of colors, especially women of color. So again, let's just do another round of applause for all of our EWOC honorees. And now this is a special time when we actually acknowledge our Young Women of Color scholarship recipients. So I want to go ahead and give a formal honorary acknowledgement of these students who are, most of them are actually away in college. But this is a time when we are able to give out money, and we are giving out 6 scholarships of $500. All right. And so the recipients, they're on page 23 of your EWOC booklet. We're also going to honor them online during the virtual summit. The first young lady is Joan Yang. She's a freshman at Missouri State University. She was a senior at Encina Fundamental High School in 2019. The second young lady is Aaliyah Allen, who's a freshman at HBCU University Benedict College. She was the BSU president and senior at El Camino Fundamental High School in 2019. And then we have Jenny Hernandez. She was the senior at Encina Fundamental High School. She's a senior now. She will be a graduate in 2021. And then we have Kelsey Richardson, who's also a senior at El Camino Fundamental High School, graduate of 2021. And Martha Wilson is a senior at Laguna Creek High School in Elk Grove. And we have a senior at San Jose State University, Brianna White, whose anticipated graduation is 2021. So we're so glad to be able to give out these scholarship awards to these young women, and we will be having a Young Women's Summit virtual program on Friday, October 2nd. So please share with your networks. It is free access to everyone. I did want to also remind you all that not only did we share tonight who are the EWOC honorees, we do have the fall 2020 Hub Magazine publication that will be coming out online on Friday. Okay, we have some terrific bios where you will get to learn so much more about what these honorees have been doing in past time, what they are doing now. So that will also be mailed to each one of you the third week of October. It is a collector's item, okay? So I always love this issue. We do 4 issues a year of the Hub Magazine. EWOC Exceptional Award issue of the Hub Magazine is one of our favorites.
All right, so as you know, events like this cannot happen without money, right? So we have to have sponsors, and we just love our sponsors, the persons who come back year after year, and they really, as Plachette said, roll hard for Sac Cultural Hub Media Foundation and Company. So our silver corporate sponsor this year for 2020 was Sacramento Municipal Utility District, also known as SMUD. California Wellness Foundation. And our bronze corporate sponsors was the City of Sacramento Office of Arts and Culture, California Housing Finance Agency, the City of Sacramento Economic Development Department, UC Davis Office of Campus Community Relations, the Department of General Services for the State of California, Weave, Wells Fargo. So please give another round of applause for our corporate sponsors. So at this time, we're going to have closing remarks by our First Lady, our CEO, our exceptional, the very first exceptional women of color, which was Plachette Robertson. But again, before you all leave, we'd like to take a quick photo of you outside with your award. So when you exit out here in front of the palm trees, we're going to set up the EWOC banners, and we'd like to take pictures, one picture with your masks and your awards, and then one picture kind of social distancing without your mask. Is that all right? All right. Come on back, please. Let's close this out.
With thanking our sponsors, my team. I want to thank Pastor Porter and his wife for coming out at short notice and giving that wonderful, inspirational, and prayer blessing for us this evening. I want to thank all of you for coming out and joining us despite COVID-19. I really hope that everyone enjoyed the evening. I hope you was able to connect with some folks that you did not know, and you know, this has just been super, super great. I mean, I've loved it. I hope you enjoyed our red carpet. We tried to really bring an exclusive evening for you. And be sure, again, please, please, please sign up for the EWOC Virtual Summit. Remember, you could have it going on in the background. We all know about Zoom and Facebook Live. A lot of times I just have it on and I'm working in the background in my office or, you know, doing housework. But it's 3 days, October 1st through October 3rd. Okay, you need the Zoom link, so go to Eventbrite. You can go to sacculturalhub.com. You can email me. Your magazines are coming in the mail. It will be available online, and you'll get that link. We'll actually send you an email with the link to the online version, and it's a flip-through version. All right? So with that, God bless, and let's go take our group picture.